the project brief. Who makes the project brief in the real world? Okay, let's talk about real life. We have a group, a team of people in a company, okay, that is called product planning. Okay, product planning. Product planning is very important, and they are associated with marketing. To make this briefing in some companies, also design participates, the design team. When we talk about design team, we talk about management, okay? Only managers here. Design. Okay? So I would say that this is the first entity, okay? This is the first entity, the three teams that start working together in order to formulate a project briefing. What is a project briefing? It's exactly the request of those people about what type of car we have to make, how this car has to be made, what technology we have to ensure, which are the type of advantages that this car has to be made, most of all for which market. Which market? So, is it for a young couple with 2 kids? Is it only for single people? Is this a project just to go from, I don't know, from A to B and only for public transport? Is this a project for a sports car, therefore competitions, or for people that love supercars, so basically 2 people? So it's a 2-seater or 2-seater plus 1? Is this for rich people, for middle class people, or is this for people that cannot really afford to buy a car, therefore has to be a low cost type of a car? So that's in the briefing. And then that briefing, is we give that briefing, okay, to the engineering department, the advanced engineer department, okay, the R&D engineering. Okay? And this is why it's very simple, because those people know how the car should be. Design, us, will create and design a car with this type of configuration. But the people that will make the car, that will help to make the most complicated job, which is the realization of all this, is the engineering department. And the engineering department, it's very important. Therefore, what do? Once they get the briefing, they work with those people. Okay? So they work together, and the objective is to create a basic project. Okay, I make it here. Okay, a basic project that knows, this project that they make together in a given time, that will tell us how much it's going to cost. Very important. Which means budget. Budget to make the project. This is called entry ticket. Entry ticket. How much money the company has to put on the table to make this project. Okay? That comes from this briefing. All right? And then they will say also, they will tell us also the technology. Okay? The technology that we can use according to the budget that we have and according to the market needs. Then they tell us also planning, which means how much time we have to work, we can work, to make the whole project until we go into production. Ok? Ciao Hector! Dal Perú! ¿Cómo estás? Gracias. Okay? That's planning. And then of course there are lots of other things, but this project here that is made in let's say in 3 months, this one is a project that is not the real design. This is not the real design. This is only a project that has all the ingredients of our briefing and will tell us a very close estimation about how much it's gonna cost, what technology we can use, how much time, and the degree of difficulty. Okay? So, is it clear so far? Please tell me if this, what I told you, this is just the introduction. If this introduction, it's clear to you. Hi Vivek, ciao. Welcome back. All right? So, now that I told you that, let's move on. And let's see, and let's talk about our best friend. Who is our best friend? Anybody knows? Because now we go back to design. So who is the best friend for designers and design management? Anybody knows? Hi Merdad, how you doing? Welcome back, I remember you last time. Nobody knows. Okay, I will tell you. Our best friend, even if you will be very surprised, it's planning. The planning is our best friend. And Michelangelo and the engineers are next. Ciao Anish. Model pencil. No, I tell you, it's planning. And I explain to you why. Planning gives you two informations that are very, very important for any designer, any manager, anybody, and also most important for the president of the company, the one that knows when the car will come out. It gives you the date of start, okay, and it tells you also when we stop. You see, this is very important. This is very important because lots of designers, and I can tell you because I know, tend to make sketches, to refine sketches, to refine sketches, to resketch their sketches, to make it better. They never decide when they have to stop, and then it's a problem. But when you have a planning, you know when you start and you know when you stop. Therefore, the whole system, everybody, all the people working, you know, all the people that are in here, okay, everybody, they must respect the start and the end. And in between, we have another good friend, which is not a best friend, but it's still a good friend, which is the money. Okay? That has to cost this car and all the operations that we had to make. Because we cannot go over that. Always trust the B line. Okay. How do you do to manage the time between several projects? I will explain that first. Don't worry. So, when we know where we start, we know where we stop, and we know how much money we have, and the type of technologies I said before, we already have three important information to move on. Okay, now let's see how a planning is made, okay? Now, I'm sure you're gonna say, yeah, but come on. How many years do we need to make a car? Okay, let's say that we need 3 years, okay? It's a little bit more, but let's say that we need 3 years, okay, to make a car. Okay, good. So, if I do this 1, 2, and 3, this is year number 1, this is year number 2, and this is year number 3. Okay? Alright. So, if, you know, design is here, starts here, design, I am sure that you are thinking, come on, we have so much time. That's okay, no big deal. It's gonna work, we're gonna make it, no problem. But the most important thing for you to know is how we make that planning. Because that's where people make mistakes. Fabio, ciao, when you mean money and budget, what kind of action design changes may affect the budget? I will explain that, Fabio. But there is one thing important. The budget, it's the budget of the project, okay? Project. Which is the entry ticket. How much the project has to cost to the company, which means the investment. But then there is also, for design, or for every department, okay, but let's talk about design, okay, the budget, okay, that we have to make that project. You understand? There are two different things, but they both very important. I cannot have designers work, how can I say, double if the money available for designers, it's only to work without overtime, for example. I cannot make 5 models if the money for making models in this budget is to make 2 models and not 5. You understand? So there are 2 things about the money. There is the design budget or the engineering budget to work, and then there is the project budget, which is the big chunk of money that the company puts on the table, that is the real investment that will come back when we will sell the cars. You understand? Take a decade to make. Okay, so Now I will explain to you how we make a planning. And the planning is made, it's called retro planning. That's how we make the planning. Okay? Retro planning means that this is here, it's called production date. Okay? So here we stop. And here we start. So how much time do we need to make the whole process of industrialization, you know, with suppliers, all the quality problems? You're welcome, Fabio. All everything, you know, all the most important thing that makes the car real. We need almost a year and a half here. So all this, okay, all this part that we do in dark blue, all this is engineering, suppliers, okay, design also, but only management. Okay, and then other people. But anyway, this from here to here, we cannot do anything. It's taken already, all this. Okay? Ciao, Razvan. The entry ticket is like a big cake. Yes, and every department gets a share of that cake. Bravo, Fat Cat. You're right, exactly. This one is the big cake. Okay. Then we have, you know, about 6 months or 7, 8 months, this one, that is taken by, let me change color, let's use a red, okay, this is engineering and design, and this is virtual. Okay, which is A-class surface. Now, when I mean A-class surface, this means, okay, this means that in this here, we have our design. We know how the car is gonna be here. Interior, exterior, graphics, UX, UI design, everything. It's here. Here we know. And then we need a development in virtual on alias modeling for design, Katia alias for design, and Katia for engineering, okay, and suppliers, okay. And here there are also some suppliers, not many, just few, okay. And here it's the most important part, because here we define the real surface in virtual that will become the real car, because here we will have prototyping, okay. So here we start building the car as a prototype, running prototype, and then this is pre-production. Means that here there is already the assembly line, okay, in the factory, and we start making the car. That's factory here. Okay? So, pre-production, prototyping, virtual phase, the final virtual phase, the final. We have all the A-class surface, which are the surface that after we cannot touch. Once we sign a contract that sometimes I sign, okay, for my project at work. In that moment, we say that everything is frozen and nobody can touch. Suppliers, engineers, design, nobody. Okay? So we get the A-class here, and then they are given to the engineers, suppliers, okay, and other people that will analyze and will realize the prototypes. And the prototype is divided in two parts. This is construction, okay, this is test, because we have to test. And then there are still problems. That's why design, it's here, you see? Because sometimes we have to make modifications. Here. And this is the phase where we can still modify. But when I modify in this phase here, for design, okay, it's only few millimeters. Not design. Surface. A cut line. A little thing, you know? Because maybe we save money, because technically it's much better. So you understand that in this phase, even if design is very important until here, okay, from this part to this part until the end, design is still there all along, because we make an action of how can I say, we take care of the baby until the end. And any little problem that has an impact on design, we are always there to make sure that we take the model, the virtual model, we check, we propose the little modifications, they accept it, and they inject it with the modification with the suppliers. So when we arrive here, now the question is, yeah, but design, how much time do we need to create, to make our models, our presentations, to make our C and B class model, you know, surface model? Okay. 4 months. 4 months, it's B surface on alias. Means that we have presentations, okay, check, and the model, it's moving on. There is a work in progress, okay? And it's called B surface. This is A surface, this is B surface. B surface means that we can still modify. They are very, very tied to the final design, but we can still change a front light, a bumper, front grille, I don't know, we can still change a little bit the glass area, you know, stuff like that. Main points, every moment is serious and important. Yes, it's me, man, yes, you got it. Then, if we go back, how much time do we need to make the C-class surface? But almost the same thing. Even a little bit more. This is C class surface. Now, C class surface means that we go in 3D virtual for the first time. For the first time, we start alias here. You see? And here we have more freedom and flexibility to modify, to optimize, to discuss with the engineers, to make all those meetings where we fight for our design and we try to get compromises. It's all in this phase here. Let me use another another color. Here we fight, okay? This is when we interact with the engineers for the first time in a serious way. And we share, okay? We share our model. In this part, we have make a lots of meetings, we work a lot on our models, we make several presentations, you know? We have several presentations, modifications, you know, all that stuff. Here it's less, because B surface means that we cannot change that much anymore. Surfaces are the only difference between A and B and C class surfaces. No, this is yes and no. The difference is that C, you have more freedom for changes to make your design better, okay? But you have only this time, only this period. Here, you can change less. A lot of things here are blocked already. And here, starting this day here, it's blocked, frozen. So we have only to think, starting from here to here, to make it. We have to realize it in virtual, but we have to make it until the last nuts, until the last millimeters has to be perfect. That's why we need more time. You understand? So, what happens here? Well, I would say that we have, in this early stage, brainstorming, concept choice, and here we have develop 2D development and final design direction. You understand? So now, when you see the creative part, the real creative part, that's where it is. This is already less creative. Now you have an idea. I try to make it simple. Believe me, it's complicated. But now you have an idea of what it means, a design process. Is it clear so far? Please tell me. Let me know if you have a particular question. Okay, it looks like everybody is fine. Thank you, Fabio. Thank you. What I want to know from you is if this was simple for you in understanding. Okay, because believe me, sometimes it's complicated even for me. Yeah, the most creative month is about 2 months. So this is the I would say a little bit deceiving, you know. A lot of people say, what the heck? You know, we have 3 years or 3 years and a half, but then at the end we really have only this time. So when you consider that, you understand that we have no time to waste. Thank you, Fat Cat. Thank you. So, you have no time to waste. So, it's very important to be very professional. It's very important in this part to be concentrated, to really analyze all the things that our friends from product planning, you know, tell us. You know, we have those people here, you know, product planning and marketing, that will give us all the information to make sure that we know how to be orientated. So the conceptual design and different when it comes to freedom, creative expression. Conceptual design, we will do this in few minutes, Vikash. In few minutes. Okay, so just to complete, this part here, it's very important, you know, how to work, we work together with them. But it's also very important to work with the R&D of engineering department, because with them we can test, we can push solutions, we can try according to our sketches and solutions. We can see with them what we can do, and then when we come here, that we made the final choice, and we start making the alias model, the first alias model, engineering department, it's extremely important, because without them we cannot do it. We cannot do it. So we work with them really close, and we have to work with them together for one objective: try to realize as much as possible what was chosen. And the C model time is like a battle of vision. Yes, a little bit, fat gal. Yes, but in reality, in the studio, what we do, it's already close to macro feasibility. This is macro feasibility. This is a stronger feasibility, and this is 100% feasibility. You know, this is also something important for you to know. You see, I write to you here. This is, I would say, 30% feasibility, okay? This one, it's, I would say, 70% here. And here it's 100. You see, you understand? And here, in those phases, at the beginning we have only 5% when we make the ideation, and then when we choose and we update our choices, our design creative choices, we can say that we go to 10%. Okay? This is a little bit, and now, who is the person that checks all this, that verifies that all this works well? Well, there are different people. Different people. But the most important thing, the most important person, you know, it's the management, design manager. Basically the work I do. So, let's analyze one thing. Let's suppose that this is design team. Okay? Design team. So when we have a design team, what happens? We have a director, all right? Our director, who is in charge and creative, responsible for creativity for all projects, okay, that come in. And this design team has also designers. Let's say 7 designers, okay? Then he has also an assistant, technical assistant, okay? It's a guy that it works on plannings, budgets, stuff like that, and organize the meetings and stuff like that. You know, I made it simple, but there's a lot more. Huh? Those are designers, interior and exteriors, okay? Then you have design manager. This one. Design project manager. And they work together. They really work together. Okay? I will tell you about the clay model dispatchers. I will analyze some of those. And I work, the design manager, with the designer chosen for that project, okay? This guy here, let's say he has one project, okay? And he's working with this guy, and with this one, okay? So the team of that project is made by design manager, design director, that overlooks all, all the projects, plus 3 given designers, maybe 1 exterior, 1 interior, 1 color and trim, okay, exterior, interior, okay. Then with them there is another team that is a little bit smaller, and this is the modeling team. 3D, virtual. This means here we have computers, okay, alias modeling. They have a director, or sometimes they are connected, so they have the same director, okay? Depends on the company. It depends on the company. Ciao Patricio! And they have modelers, virtual modelers, on alias station, Autodesk, whatever, okay? Now, let's go back to this guy that is working with 1, 2, and 3. We had to make the alias model, right? In this phase, we are working C. We are making virtual model, but we'll start the virtual model also here. So who's gonna do it? Then we will choose one here, okay, for interior, and this guy here for exterior. Okay, so the design manager will work also with those two, and the exterior will work together with this guy because he's gonna make his alias model, and the guy from interior will work with this guy that will make his interior. You see? Are you following? I know it's a little bit complex, but it's not finished yet. But anyway, okay. Then we need also another person, another team. I put it here. This is modeling 3D manual, which means full-scale models. The real models, the one that you can touch, you can paint. Ciao Vedant. And they also have lots of modelers, okay? Working clay. And they have also a director, of course, management. And here they do foam, wood, metal, clay, and lots of other stuff. Fiberglass, painting, So they will make the exterior model and the interior model of our project. So those people here will work with a team of 4 people to who will give the alias model. You understand? Because they're gonna mill out the models, interior and exterior, and then they will work on them. If they use clay, for example. Okay, so they will mill. Okay? Hi, Steph Dorian. Ciao. So now you see how the flux of work, it goes when we start a project. And there is still another guy missing here, which is this one. It's called external supplier. They do milling, they do painting, sometimes they can do also 3D virtual modeling. If there are things we cannot do here because people are too busy, they will give out a part of the job. You understand? So they will work for both modeling team and for him. So this guy here, the design manager, that then has to interact also with the modelers, okay, will also go here and check how they're working. You see? Now you're starting to understand a little bit more the complexity of making a design becoming a reality. But then don't forget, we said that we have the engineers. We have engineers here. It's in the company. Engineers, lots of engineers, okay? And to the engineers, it's only the design manager that interacts with them. For all this goes here, okay, because they had to make studies. They have to give the feasibility, and they will ask with many loops, back and forth. We checked your thing, it's not good, we need to change like that. I go inside, hey, please, we have to change that for 5 millimeters. The guy says, okay, let me try this way. He goes to the virtual modeler. Hey, please, let's make that modification there. All right, I'll do it. Okay, now let's see on the real milled model how it looks. So he sends the alias model to the real modeling room, and then we'll take with the supplier and make a small part to show the modification. You understand the process? Okay, so now this is the design process. So once again, it starts with this. I mean, for those that just arrived, this might sound like, might look like fine art, but you should have to check the video from the beginning because it's going to be very clear. Now it's a little bit messy, but at the beginning, everything was played in the right order. Don't worry. So now there is one thing still that we have to talk. When we do brainstorming, okay, the very beginning. So here, this part here, okay, and a little bit of this one too, which is the most creative. It's the most creative period of any project beginning. So we have brainstorming, we have a concept selection, okay, and after that we have a design orientation, then we have a choice, and then we go to virtual 3D to start the C class surfaces. Okay? So, brainstorming, concept selection, design orientation, the choice, and then we start interacting with them. Okay? So brainstorming is done really like, I don't know, 1 month, 2 months, 2 months. In China it's 1 month because the timing are much faster than Europe. This can be a little bit longer, but it's gonna be kind of fast. Concept selection, what? 1 month? Design orientation, another month? Then there is a choice. So you see, we have about between 4 and 5 months to exercise our creativity. If I go back to our planning, this part here. Okay, so now I've talked for an hour. I really hope this is clear for you. I will change camera so that you can see me again. There you go. I take off the top camera. All right. And I let you ask your questions. I'm here. Did you like my explanation? If you did, get the super chat. Okie dokie. Tell me. Any question? I'm here. We are 27, very glad. 29, very glad, very glad. For those that arrived just late, we did lots of stuff here. Please go and check again the video when it will be tomorrow on this channel recorded so that you can check it again. We explained the retro planning and all the activities, especially for design. We explained also design process between designers, modeling, virtual modeling, manual modeling, external suppliers, okay? That's very important, what the design manager does, what the designers do. I forgot to name the lead designers that are very important, that help the designers, okay? And then we said that the planning is our best friend, because it's true. The planning is our best friend. Gives us the start and an end. Okay? And then we said how everything starts from a briefing, which tells us how the project should be and why, and who makes the briefing, you know, how people work together in order to do it. Let me read. We have some questions. Let's see. What is the exact purpose of the clay models when you also have the alias virtual models? Very important. One thing is virtual world, and another thing is the real world. The real world is fundamental because every time you see a real model, you discover all mistakes that you cannot see on a virtual model on computer. Even if you are a very expert guy or a girl on a screen and you can judge really well, like for example I do, but every time we mill out a model, every single time we discover big mistakes and we can fix them really quick with clay. Then we scan the model modified, and that scan goes back to the alias model to modify the virtual model. I hope I answered to your question. I have studied 4 years industrial design. This much. Thank you, Fabio. I'm glad that you enjoyed. Is design platform mechanics job? No, mechanical platform is only engineers. We don't put any hand into that. It's impossible. It's an engineering thing. It's not design. Very interesting. So can you please tell me how to manage time between different projects? That's experience. basically, when engineers come to me and say, hey, for our project, this is when we have to start receiving your A-class, your frozen design, then I take that date and I think and I see how I can organize from that date going back to the brainstorming time, all the stages, all the steps. That's experience. But there are people in every company that are very expert, can always give a hand and explain things. Nice guitar back. Thank you very much. I have some nice guitar, it's true. Great explanation. Though was late to join but understand most of the process. Okay, good. But Vedant, you can check this video again from the beginning tomorrow or maybe later. You know, with the link. You can just, once it's finished, you can watch it again. No problem. And if you want to share it, it's nice. Thank you. Sir, for a thesis project, should we follow these steps? In a way, yes. In a way, yes. For a thesis, you have basically brainstorming, you have a concept, choice, modeling, and virtual modeling, and the day of your final presentation. Those are the steps. So you can check that. Fabio, you mentioned about every position but one. What if there is a design or alias model intern in the studio? What would you suggest for interns? But the intern are, in general, we have them, and they come from other companies because maybe we don't have many people working on projects. I mean, too many people working on projects, therefore we need help from the outside. So there are lots of suppliers that belong to the suppliers that offer those services. We have, of course, trusted suppliers. We make a quick contract and we get 1, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. It depends. They come with their computers in our company, or they work in their company, and our designers and design managers go to them to check how the project, what the work in progress they have. Okay, Ruben Sanchez. Ciao Ruben, very nice Luciano. Thank you. Great streaming. I would like to ask you how important are the alias 3D models within a company? They're very important. And it's a very easy way to find a job in car design. In car design environment, of course. I'm not saying that alias modeler is a designer, but it's a modular designer. That's how we call them in Renault, because they really help us a lot, but really very much, to make sure that our ideas get into the right, that get into the right interpretation on alias. Wonderful. Somebody saw. Fat cat. Wonderful experience. Thank you to you. Please, as a designer, can we end the process at C-class surfaces? As a designer, no. Your designers end until the A-class, but the design manager has to continue. But until C-class, A-class, designers and design director are involved. After that, not anymore. It's not that important. It will be the design manager responsibility to keep on following the whole process and come back to them just in case it is needed. First Eric, how much the budget of the design team? This varies according to the project. So it's useless that I give you a budget. It's useless. It depends on the project. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's very small. Patricio, the process always take 3 years. Or does it? It depends on the project, Patricio. It depends also on the country and the company. For example, in China, they kind of fast for any type of project. In Europe, a little bit less. So means that in Europe is a little bit longer time, like 3.5 years maybe. Okay, and I don't know other companies, but basically it's like that. Should designers think about feasibility that much for a thesis project? No, for a thesis project it's not very important. Don't forget, when you're in school, we want to see your creativity. So don't block your creativity because of feasibility. Forget that. You will learn that when you go to work. Aditya Meji, do you think the arrival of electric cars and things like a platform can change the process a bit for more creativity? Yes, I believe yes, Aditya. The EV new way of making concepts and design project, real design project, real cars, has changed a little bit the way we think, our thinking process, our design thinking, but in positive, so it's good. Is it true that alias models earn more money than designers? I've never answered questions about earning money about designers or other people, because I don't like that. What is a C-class? C-class is the first model that is done on virtual on alias model, what is called alias model. Okay, it's the first one, which for us, it's not a perfect model, therefore it's a C-class model, which means the lowest, the beginning of a model which is kind of light. It will not have all the radiuses and perfect sections, but you can see the model. It's the best way, in a very fast way, to check proportions on your selected concept. Then little by little, that C class will become a B class, which means higher level in detail and refinement of the same virtual model. I hope I answered to you. Georgi, I'm trying to put together a guide to get into the industrial design career path for adult learners. Talk for 15 minutes. I found your email. Yes, my email, Georgi, my email is very simple. Luciano Bove, all attached, @yahoo.com. You write to me and we will see, okay? Vikas, really interested about concept project processor. Okay, the concept project I will explain to you. Okay, so I switch again camera. Okay, so wait a second. Wait a second that I change the camera. Okay, here we have it. Okay, let's explain. This is concept car or running prototype with design, of course. With design, everything is always with design. Okay. Basically, it's done in a year and a half. If this is 1 year and this is another one, we stop here. So in this case, we have 6 months to do all creative part. C, B, A, this is engineering and design and suppliers. This is the loops, okay, where we adjust the project to make sure that everything is perfect. And then this is just prototype production. And this is marketing. Marketing activity, which means auto show, journalist, all that, the big show here. Okay? So creativity, pure creativity, it's only here. This is creativity. Okay? And here we need, this is feasibility. Okay? And this is prototyping. It's a shorter. It is 1.5 years. Concept cars can be 1 year. Show car is 1 year. But it's the same thing. Same thing. Okay? Alright, I switch again. Camera. Hi guys, here I am. And I get back to your comments. Okay, you're welcome, Georgie. You write to me and we'll see. So, Luciano, for CAD, I understand that your engineers use CATIA, and for design Alias, yes, they are compatible. Alias cannot read CATIA, but there is a transformation, how do you say, of software. There is a software in Alias and also in CATIA where you can take this file, and with the manipulation they can read it in the right format. What's your hardest project? Hey, the most difficult project was the Kangoo 2, which was done in 2004, 2005. I followed that project for 3 years, from the beginning until the end, and that was complicated because Kangoo, it's an LCV with lots of different type of versions. Therefore, there was a lot to follow until the end. A lot of little differences, small differences. So there was a lot of, it was like a never-ending story. When you have one car, it's easier in a way because you have just one car and you concentrate on that. But when you have a car that has many derivatives, other different type of cars based on the same one, and they have to come out at the same time, it's like you are doubling projects, projects like an exercise for designers in the car. No, it's not an exercise. Concepts and show car, it's an important step for any car design company to exercise creativity, most of all to investigate a future vision that any company would like to give to itself, and therefore you have to do those type of projects that are very creative, and some of them are used for a particular type of poll testing to have a feedback from people and understand whether you are on the right road or you're on the wrong road, Arst, I know feasibility process and it is hard work. Yes, thank you, Arst. It's true. It's hard. There is a lots of negotiation. For us, my experience, lots of negotiation. You are always there trying to push, but of course, there is always a limit, to push. I always say that in the first part, design has to push a lot. But then there is the second part, after frozen design, when the class A surfaces are underway, then design has to be a support. We have to help engineers to do it and not always push. We push in the first part. What do you think about retro influence in car design? I think it can be interesting. Can be really interesting if it's well done. Alright, Rubens, ¿qué quieres? Thanks for your answer, Luciano. Great explanation about the topic. Okay, thank you. Gracias. Like the Fiat 500. Yeah, that's very nice, Fat Cat. I think when it's well done, it's nice. Sometimes some exercises are not that well done, It's clear that every designer should know 3D modeling. Price, no. It's not necessary. It's advisable, but it's not mandatory. I never done, but I learn with the experience. Okay, I have 31 years of experience, so it's normal. But believe me, when I'm in front of somebody working on Alias, I know exactly what he's doing, why he's clicking, why he's pulling the CV, how to make a surface, how many ways to make a surface, which are the problems that can come out, because following, you make experience. And therefore, it becomes a little bit easier to understand something that you don't know how to use. Georgie says, what would your advice begin designs, how to prepare for job interview? We will, Georgie, there is another design talk I made 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, which is called Designer's Career. You should go and check that video because I talk about that stuff in that video. Besides, I don't know if you know us, but here we are every Friday. This is the It's Fridays Design Talk show. Okay? So, every Friday, 6 p.m. France time, we are here with a Design Talk, topic. So, 2 weeks ago, I talked already about the designer's career and all the subjects are related to it. Can one get an ID job, industrial design job without 3D modeling these days? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Industrial designer or car designer get a job for their creativity and their portfolio. Then if you have an extra that is modeling, that's a plus, which is welcome. You know, I would recommend beginners working with sub-D poly software for the first cast process. You get fast and good quality results. Okay, thanks, Harst. I'll check it out, sir. It's my first time. I'll be here every Friday. Okay, thank you, Georgie. If you are interested in the sketching, on this channel, every Tuesday at 5 p.m., I am live with the It's Tuesday Sketching Online. Alright? So I'll be there sketching live. Rubens, at which point the design team used Katia or Sim saying, yeah, I know that alias is used in the earlier phase. No, for us, alias is used until the end in design. Okay? Alias until the end. Other Katia, no. Sorry, no. Please, no. Don't kill me. It's weekend. Okay. Any other question? Come on, guys. We still have 15 minutes. So I hope that you enjoyed, but I see that from your comments looks like you are quite satisfied. All right, I am happy because sometimes when I have to speak about the design process, I always feel like it's complicated, and my fear is that people don't understand. Vedant, as per your design experience of 31 years, do you feel less in creativity during some projects? What do you do without it, with it, and find new creative ideas? I made a video about that too, Vedant. Creativity, it's something very emotional. Ciao, Berk! Mr. Kaplan! Hey guys, follow Berk Kaplan. He's there in chat. Check. Check. Berk Kaplan. Go and check his channel, okay? You'll discover a lot of interesting stuff in car sketching and advices for all of you. Blender also, it's a good one, but I was talking really about the design process that we use and the software that I have been using the most with all the different projects I've done so far, also in China, which is mainly Alias for the accuracy. The Blender, it's very good. I used it for the interior with some suppliers, but mainly for the interior at the beginning, in the most creative stage of a project. But after we transferred the Blender onto Alias to complete and make the A-class surface. Designers, thanks a lot, Luciano. Great to see you live. Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy you are with us. Really, Berk. About the creativity, the creative question, I was saying creativity is a question of, it's very emotional. So if you are sad or something is going bad in your head for some reasons, well, your creativity will be probably affected negatively. For some people, it's the opposite. There are some people that when they are in love, they give their best in creativity, and when they quit their girlfriend, they give the worst. But for some other people, a negative thing becomes a powerful element to stimulate some creativity. It all depends how we are. Sometimes it just takes time. It's useless to force yourself. Don't force yourself. Sometimes it's better probably to go and check out something else. I don't know, look at flowers or a nice movie and come back to the hard point later on with a fresher mind, a fresher idea, and most of all with less frustration. Okay, Fleurs saying hello to Bert. Cool. Michelangelo, Mr. Bove, do you have any tips for someone who wants to get a scholarship result of outstanding visuals? The scholarships in general are given to people that are very talented. You have to understand, if I am a school and I have a small budget to pay and to give a great present to a young person that can go to my school that is expensive, almost for free or for free, I want to make sure that this person is very talented and is already at a very good level. That is a great potential. So the only advice I can give is work hard and do good stuff. And it's not just the pretty pictures. It's the content of your pretty pictures. Because it's the pretty pictures, the skills is just a part, as I say always. But then there is the content. I mean, what is your creativity? How do you express your creativity? How strong is your creativity? Even if you did not yet go to a school. So the potential, if your potential is there, the school will give the scholarship. And you can check on any type of school website, you will discover all their programs about scholarships, how it works, with all the rules, how to enroll. You can contact, and they'll explain to you exactly what you should do. Okie dokie, let's read again other comments. Mr. Supun, have you experienced any project took longer than expected? Yes, this can happen. It's very rare. It happens, but that's a big team decision. I mean, it's a company decision. You understand? It's not that design alone can stop a planning or a design process or a production process. This is something very strategic that comes from top down for a series of reasons that I'm not going to list here now, but this can happen. But it is very rare, because when this happens, there is a loss of money for the company. So it's very dangerous. It's a little bit of waste. Hello, new here. Hey, Briggs Espejo. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Dónde vienes? Mr. Briggs. Welcome to our It's Fridays Live with our Design Talk. You are new. Every Friday we talk about design topics, a little bit design inside infos, okay? So today was about the car design process. You didn't see probably the video from the beginning because you were not connected. Don't worry. As soon as the video is available online on my channel, you can check it again. And I am sure you probably enjoy a part of it. And I really hope the whole of it. Okay, so who else? Michelangelo, understood. Thank you. Okay, great. Cool. All right, so guys, I think I said it all. Now for me it's time to go have a short dinner, and then tonight I have a student with my online design course face to face. So it will start in a couple of hours. He's from America, and it's a good time for him. Not so good for me, but it's okay. I will stay with him from 9 to 11, and we will work hard sketching. If any one of you is interested to my online course, my email, you email me, and I will explain to you how to do it. This design talk is finished. Thank you very much. If you want to offer me a coffee, hit the super chat. If not, it's fine anyway. Thank you very much. I really hope that I answered to your questions. You can check this video again and see all the steps, the steps we made to explain the design process, which remains something a little bit complicated. I tried to make it simple, okay? I hope that I was able to make it as simple as possible for all of you, and therefore I thank you very much, okay? And remember, next Friday, 1 week from today, I'll be here. Another It's Friday's Design Talk. Tuesday, I will be here with It's Tuesday Sketching Together live streaming from this channel. Ciao. Grazie. Thank you very much. And take care. Have a good weekend. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Bye.